top general was so fearful Trump might spark war that he made secret calls to his Chinese counterpart, New Book says.
Here's a summary of the article.
In a pair of secret phone calls, General Mark A. Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, assured his Chinese counterpart, General Li Zuocheng of the People's Liberation Army, that the United States would not strike, according to a new book by Washington Post associate editor Bob Woodward and national political reporter Robert Costa. In the book's account, Milley went so far as to pledge he would alert his counterpart in the event of a U.S. attack, stressing the rapport they'd established through a backchannel. In the second call, placed to address Chinese fears about the events of January 6, Lee wasn't as easily assuaged, even after Milley promised him, "We are 100% steady. Everything's fine, but democracy can be sloppy sometimes." Looking each in the eye, Milley asked the officers to affirm that they had understood, the author's right, in what he considered an oath. The immediate motivation, according to the book, was the January 8 call from Pelosi, who demanded to know what precautions are available to prevent an unstable president from initiating military hostilities or from accessing the launch codes and ordering a nuclear strike. Milley assured her that there were a lot of checks in the system. The call transcript obtained by the authors shows Pelosi telling Milley, referring to Trump, "He's crazy. You know he's crazy. He's crazy, and what he did yesterday is further evidence of his craziness." Milley replied, "I agree with you on everything." Haspel was so alarmed after a meeting in November that she called Milley to say, "This is a highly dangerous situation. We are going to lash out for his ego."
This post received a score of 27,000, with an upvote ratio of 86%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Mouthful of cereal. The sum of all fears.
The horror math sequel, The Fear of All Sums, didn't do as well.
Neither did the horror carpentry sequel, Some Fears of the All.
Or the Mediterranean psycho-agricultural thriller, The Fearsome Olives.
I used to dig the psycho-agricultural genre since before it was mainstream.
Yeah, it got irritating when the same plot points cropped up every season.
Everything nowadays seems so watered down.
What's the solution? Brondu.
It's got what plants crave.
The only winning move is not to play. Joshua.
I can take pride in the fact I've never lost to a chess grandmaster before.
Everybody gangster till the Dark Souls music starts blasting and Anatoly Karpov struts out from behind a nearby hedge.
China doesn't want nuclear war either, but sometimes accidents can happen because one side could misread the intentions of the other side. Even though both countries were openly opposed to one another, the US and the Soviet Union also recognized the importance of maintaining this type of back channel to avoid world-ending mistakes. 2019-2020 was an incredibly chaotic period of time, especially pertaining to US-China relations. Using back channels to clarify one's intentions and avoid accidents is exactly why they exist in the first place.
The hotline was the result of Cuba, where there were multiple hours needed to send the diplomatic cables. And multiple incidents, the shooting down of a U-2, the submarine where use of a nuclear torpedo was seriously discussed, that could have triggered a war.
There was a weather rocket shot up Fro Andøya in Norway. On the Soviet radar it looked like a nuclear missile targeting Moscow, shot out by an American submarine. When the weather rocket reached its height it exploded, and disappeared from the radar. An intercontinental ballistic missile travels at 24,000 kmph.
I wonder if there have been any psychological studies of this. I could imagine it would be unlikely someone who's been trained enough would report a detected nuclear missile. I imagine 3 scenarios. 1. If there was an incoming missile, then missiles from the remaining sites would still be able to obliterate the enemy. 2. If there's not an incoming missile but they report it, then their country would launch a first strike and thermonuclear war. 3. You don't report on the missile and there's nothing. You get possibly reprimanded for not doing your job. Seems like the only real play is to not play the game.
How about a nice game of chess?
Still one of my favorite movies.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.